today I'm going to can some beans because I'm almost out of beans that are already canned. I absolutely detest having to pre-soak beans, so I did a lot of research and I found a method that is actually not USDA certified to being safe, but it works for me. We usually eat them within 3 months anyway. Anything that doesn't seal, I make sure and we eat it immediately, unless it's been a few days and then we toss it out. But I've got a dozen jars and I'm gonna can some beans. So I'm gonna put it back on the tripod. Hopefully you'll be able to see because it's short now. But anyway, I'll make it work. I have a large Presto. I don't even know what size it is. It's the one that can fit half gallons. So I wanted the biggest one I could find. A pot of boiling water, which is not boiling currently because I had to turn the heat down. It was boiling really hard. And pint jars. It's really simple. This is what it looked like when it goes in. But I'll show you guys how I do canned beans.
Daddy. Bye.
I actually had to buy new jars, so first thing I got some salt and I put what I would think is about half of a teaspoon, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Some will have more, some will have less because I don't measure much. What I do measure exactly is the beans. So what I've got here is a ½ cup measuring cup and 1/2 cup of beans per pint jar. If you're doing quarts, you can double it. I found it on the internet. I will have a link in the description. And she states on her website that it is not USDA certified to being safe. I'm okay with that. But I had a bag of beans in the freezer that had a hole in it, so I had to remove them anyway. Might as well jar up a dozen while I'm at it. So, and go back through. My water is near boiling, and you'll just fill it up to about 1 inch to 1.5 inch headspace. Okay. So. They only have to be finger tight. If you over tighten them, your lids do weird things. So, or if you're like me and you can't even get it on there. It also helps because you're putting hot liquid in here if you have your jars preheated. I have as hot of water as I can get my hands on in my sink, and that's pretty much what I do. Okay, I've had it preheating the canner, and I'm going to set the lid on and turn up the heat on it. Now, it needs to set and build up a good head of steam and blow all the air out of it, because if you don't get all the air out of it, it's air pressure instead of water pressure, so then it doesn't do the process it should. So you wait until there's enough steam coming out of this nipple here that it's a steady stream for 10 minutes. And then you'll put the weight on top, which right here's the weight. And it just sits right on top. But I'll wait till there's 10 minutes of solid steam. And then after I set the weight on there, my processing time begins, which on pints it is 75 minutes. Sometimes I do a little more just to be on the safe side, just depending on the day. But this was what I was doing today anyway, so I thought I'd show you guys. Okay, it's hard to see, but there is a steady stream of steam coming out. It's been that way for about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put my weight on there. And then it'll take a little bit. It'll start bubbling out right here. And that'll eventually shut when enough steam gets behind it. And then once it reaches that second dot there, which is 11 psi, then it can go. And then you count, and then it processes for 75 minutes. I'll show you the after, what the jars look like once it's totally cooled down and I can take the lid off. But I cannot take the lid off until it's totally cooled down, or I could, hurt myself, blow my range up. There's a whole list of things. So it's got to be totally cooled down and you take the lid off. Going on the downside of this, so the pressure's all going out, and here shortly I'll be able to open this bad boy and show you what's inside. The bubbling is normal because that is the water still extremely hot inside the jars. Hence why I pick it up with pliers. But, you know, that half a cup of beans and that pretty much whole jar of water is now all together. Not all of them are still boiling, some of them are, but it's totally normal. You'll notice that at a certain angle you can see the little indent. That's where the jars have sealed off already. And there you go, guys. It's really easy, and as I said at the beginning, it is not a USDA certified way to do it. I am well aware of that, but I tested it before and it worked out just fine for us. I would rather do it as dry beans than to pre-boil my beans or pre-cook my beans because they hold up better this way. Who knows? It may end up being USDA certified eventually, but it works for us. So if you get botulism, it's because you did something wrong. It's not because of me. Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate all the support you give us. We'll see you soon. God bless.